Finally, we are on the last Marvel Rivals Season 0 lore video. After this, we'll continue on to the already developing seasonal stories. And in this video, we'll talk about the HYDRA slash Wakanda 2099 storyline. Just like how Wakanda is also intertwined with Clintar. But after this video, it would make a little bit more sense what I'm talking about. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the final Season 0 lore video. To start off, we learn a little bit of the lore through the Hydra Charterist base or Hell's Heaven map on Marvel Rivals. As attackers, your objective is to attack the base and destroy the super soldier factory along with the hibernation pods, but also stop a portal from opening in the base. As defenders, your objective is to keep the other team from raiding your base and allow the portal to open. Those missions are more of a reenactment of a mission that the Winter Soldier goes on, but in canon, Bucky fails his mission and gets captured. Hydra then uses a ritual to open the portal and experiment on Bucky. We see more of this in a conversation between two Hydra soldiers in the Hydra's Hymn gallery card. Rank and number. Come on, Jim. It's me, Pete. You know how tight security is here, Pete. Gotta follow protocols. Fine. Hydra assigns Agent 418322. Happy? I'd be a hell of a lot happier if we weren't stuck inside of a mountain in the middle of the Antarctic. This cold is killing me. Why couldn't we get stationed on one of Hydra's tropical islands like Bob? Because Charter's base houses the most important operation in our entire organization, and they wanted the very best of us, man in the fort. The experiments we're doing here are going to change the world, Jim. I think we can handle the winter weather. The winter weather? Sure. The winter soldier, though? Yeah, I heard that jerk tried to infiltrate our base a couple days back. Not gonna lie, I always thought he was just a myth. I mean, he fought against the Red Skull in World War II, right? How the hell could he still be alive and fighting? More importantly, how could he still look younger than me? I've got a feeling we're about to find out. Rumor has it they moved him down to the Super Soldier Lab last night after they finished his reconditioning. Looks like we're gonna get to work our magic. Oh, there's gonna be magic, alright. But not from us. Before we could get him into stasis tube, another division claimed him. Another? Which one? Wait, please don't say occult ops. The weirdos in the robes? What on earth do they want with a superpowered assassin? You and I both know that what they want doesn't usually involve Earth, or any other planet in this solar system. They're trying to open that damn portal in the sublevels again, aren't they? What did they say it went? Mayfield? Mavith, a dead planet on the other side of the universe. They say activating that gateway is the key to unlocking our history and ushering in a new era where Hydra reigns supreme. Don't tell me you bought into their mumbo jumbo. You're supposed to be a man of science, Jim. I am, Pete. But I've heard those Hydra priests chant, and there's something about their song that makes wonder if they're not so crazy. If they can use the Winter Soldier as some kind of conduit to access that other world, they can have him. Ha! You're as brainwashed as Bucky is. Well, whatever they're doing with him down there, I hope it works. Hydra could use a win. Don't worry, we'll get one. And when we do, it's gonna be thanks to our work in the science division, not because occult ops sang some ancient alien hymn to a soldier who should have retired ages ago. Guess we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one. Okay, fine. You know what? It's time for my break anyway. I hear the commissary just got a new shipment of hot cocoa. You in? Now that we can agree on. We continue on with the main ongoing story in Hawkeye's lore entry, Going South for the Winter. Hawkeye boarded the Quinjet, only knowing that he was going on a sole mission and that it would involve Hydra. The Quinjet was silent for a while. Clint kept to himself watching the water go by. He'd never been a sparkling conversationalist, so silence suited him. How you doing back there? Agent 13 shouted back from her seat of the controls. Clint had forgotten she was there after hours of staring at the endless blue expanse of the Pacific. Clint decided it was time to make some conversation. So, we headed to Antarctica or what? Bingo, Agent 13 said. Although it doesn't take a genius to figure out that if you go south from Hawaii, you hit either New Zealand or Antarctica. Never said I was a genius, but I can read a map, Clint said. So let me guess, you want me to stop Hydra poaching dinosaurs in the Savage Land? No Savage Land for you, Hawkeye. We are in fact going to Ross Island, which is only technically an island because it's connected to the mainland of Antarctica by a 2-mile thick sheet of ice. Yeah, the Ross Ice Shelf. I've heard of it. The target is a Hydra base on Ross Island. More specifically, the target is Bucky Barnes. Don't tell me. It's not what you think. Judging by the expression on your face, Agent 13 said. 3 days ago, Barnes was sent to infiltrate and gather intel about Hydra activity inside Erebus Base. Infiltration was successful and we got some brief communications from Bucky during the mission's first few hours, but as of 8 hours after infiltration, comms were interrupted and we presume he's been a Hydra captive ever since. Why Erebus Base? Well, because it's tunneled into Mount Erebus. But Hydra probably also likes the mythological associations. In Greek mythology, Erebus was the son of Chaos and one of the primordial gods. Also, that's the name the Greek gave to the gate between the world of the living and the underworld. Yeah, Hydra would go for that. Behind every myth is a bit of truth. Some of Bucky's comms are pretty scrambled, but we have a basic idea that the base is built on a much older set of ruins. It's likely there's an occult angle. An occult angle? So, like, I should expect to run into monsters from the Greek underworld? That's all I can tell you. Also, they're doing some kind of super soldier research. Bucky was loud and clear about that. Clint thought about this. He had a pre-mission calmness, something he had never had when he was the Ronin. So, Agent 13 said from the cockpit, you ready? For this mission or to be an Avenger again? Once an Avenger, always an Avenger. I was talking about the mission. Once an Avenger, always an Avenger. Clint wasn't so sure about that. Even when he was an Avenger, he never felt like one. It was hard when all he did was shoot a bow and arrow, and others could call lightning or lift 100 tons. If he was being honest with himself, it's the reason he left and became the Ronin. Okay, 5 minutes out. There is a large hangar bay with several doors built into the flank of the mountain. That's the only obvious approach without using demolitions to get into one of the lower access shafts. Intel recommends you stay on the upper levels because honestly, we have no idea what's below. Monsters, Clint said. Got it. Probably not, but you never know. Get in, get Barnes, get out. If Barnes is... She hesitated. If Barnes can't be recovered, your priority is to get the info and get out yourself. You mean if he's dead? Just say it. What if Bucky was gone? Again, mind controlled again. Deep inside, Clint felt a Ronin-like cold certainty that he would know what to do. We are in the drop zone. We'll open the cargo doors on your go. Go, Clint said. The Antarctic wind stole the air from his lungs. Clint steadied himself, got a bead on the ground, and jumped. The story continues with the Winter Soldier's lore entry. The news streamed in from all over the world. The people in charge were calling it the time stream entanglement, a sudden disruption in the fabric of space and time that had sent chaos rippling across countless realities. The heroes of Earth had assembled to face the crisis head on. Not all of them had survived. The entire world is in a state of mourning for Steve Rogers, the beloved hero known as Captain America, who was struck down earlier this week when, "About damn time," a security officer in a HYDRA uniform grunted. The officer stood patrolling. "Another peaceful night on the edge of nowhere," he said. Suddenly, a squad of soldiers in white Arctic combat gear and HYDRA logos came running through the door. They started dropping like flies, each with an arrow in their back. It was Hawkeye. He took out all of the remaining HYDRA in the area. "Hang in there, Bucky," Hawkeye said. "The cavalry's here." Soon, Clint made his way into the lower labs filled with 9 cylindrical glass tanks. He reached one labeled Canary. "Jackpot," he said with a grin. Inside, he found the man he was looking for. James Bucky Buchanan Barnes. Before he could open the tank, he was ambushed by Hydra soldiers. In the chaos of the fight, a glass tank shattered. Clint didn't notice until it was too late. A brute was already on top of him, tentacles wrapped around on the brute's arm. It sent the brute flying and laying lifeless. Clint scanned the room. He saw the Winter Soldier standing in the shattered tank. Where his cybernetic arm should have been were the same tentacles that were around the brute. Clint stood in astonishment. "You sure make a lot of noise," the Winter Soldier said as he stepped out of the tank. "Didn't mean to interrupt your nap. Now, come on, we'll find a way to fix this. You'll be okay. We just need to get you out of here." "Not yet," the Winter Soldier replied. "There's something I have to do first." "What we have to do is get back up to the landing platform. Gotta go down before we go up, Clint. And I'm gonna need your help, please." Clint was taken aback. The Winter Soldier wasn't one to say please. Whatever it was important to him. "Well," Hawkeye said with a sigh, "I guess if it was easy, anybody could do it." Hawkeye followed the Winter Soldier deeper into the base. eventually passing through a doorway into a chamber with a vaulted ceiling supported by pillars at least 100 feet tall, each carved to look like a horrific monster. There was a portal on the wall with ancient energy radiating from it. Something was trying to come through from the other side, and even though Clint could see it, his brain couldn't process what the hell it was. Bucky attached his tentacles into an altar. Hydra forces busted into the chamber. "You'd better make this quick, Buck." The giant creature wrapped its tentacles around Bucky, almost as if completing the circuit. Energy coursed through Bucky. He told Clint to cut off the tentacles, creating a powerful shockwave, knocking everyone away. The chamber was caving in, and the monster retreated back to the other side. It seemed like they succeeded in stopping whatever was happening down here, but they also destroyed their escape routes. "Guess you shouldn't have came after me." "Don't say that. I was just doing my job." "You are one hell of a soldier, Clint." They both prepared as the entirety of the chamber was about to collapse. Suddenly, the portal opened again. They prepared to fight whatever horrors were about to come through this time, but were shocked to see what did come through. A round metallic object flung, ricocheting through the air, hitting all the larger debris, turning it into pebbles. A figure stepped through. "Bucky," Captain America said, extending his hand to his former partner. "It's been too long." Both Clint and Bucky sat in awe. "Sorry I missed your funeral, old-timer." "Sorry I went to your funeral. Clearly you didn't need one." Cap explained that he wasn't the Steve Rogers they knew, and that it was a long story that he would explain later. He mentioned friends at Wakanda hijacked Hydra base and opened a portal. They all rushed through to meet King T'Challa and Shuri on the other side. Shuri handed Bucky a case. He looked inside to find a cybernetic arm. "I was told you might need this," Cap said, "so I called in a favor." Bucky snapped the arm into place. "And now, I'm going to need a favor from you," Cap said. The Winter Soldier didn't know what Captain America was about to ask of him, but he wasn't about to say no. Whatever came next, he would be there till the end of the line. Finally, we'll end up on Captain America's lore entry. What Cap had experienced over the last few weeks had made the epic adventures he lived through in World War II seem normal and mundane. Steve stood on the balcony looking out at the spaceport of this futuristic city of Wakanda. "A penny for your thoughts, old man?" Steve turned to see Clint, walking over to him. He gazed past him to see Bucky, lying still in a medical scanner, just thinking about how much has changed. "I hear you. Speaking of which, when are you finally going to tell me why you brought us to this crazy interstellar version of Wakanda? Or, do you know, how you're still alive?" Cap started by telling Clint about his final mission in World War II. The plane crash into the ice, him waking up to a redhead woman saving him, and a man named Logan helping him to Wakanda. Natasha? Cap could tell his new friend recognized the mystery woman who saved him. He continued on about how him, T'Challa, and Shuri were in search of heroes to come together against whatever was happening with this time stream entanglement. He knew who was first on his list to recruit. "And I'm flattered, Cap. Really. It was Bucky I was after," Cap admitted, missing Clint's sarcasm. "But I'm not complaining that you happen to come along for the ride. Bucky says you're one of the good ones. You know who else is one of the good ones? Nat. If she's still around in this weird world of yours, you probably ought to track her down. I'm sure Bucky would say the same if he wasn't out cold." As if on cue, Cap and Clint heard commotion behind them. Bucky was stumbling on his feet. "Steve, what is it, partner?" "Not feeling so good. It's like someone is whispering in my head." "Oh no, some sort of Hydra conditioning." "No, not Hydra. Something older. Something darker." Steve and Clint glanced over a nearby statue of Bast, the Panther goddess, worshipped by the Wakandans. Its eyes started glowing red. Bucky's eyes matched the statue's. Cap and Clint took the fight to the spaceport where it was empty. Cap and Bucky fought while Clint left to retrieve Shuri. As they came back, Shuri made a device to reset Bucky. She attached it to one of Clint's arrows with the help of Clint. With one shot, he hit Bucky, resetting him. "Sorry about that. Don't know what came over me." "Don't worry, partner. Whatever this is, you're not going through it alone. Not ever again." "Glad to have you back, Steve." "I'm glad to be back." And for the first time since he had awoken, Steve truly meant it. So, with the unfolding of all those events with Clint, Bucky, and Captain America, the final story of Marvel Rivals Season 0 comes to an end. From this point on, we'll go through all the more linear stories that all the heroes and villains go through as the seasons progress. So be on the lookout for Season 1 storyline arriving in the near future. And with all that said, I appreciate everyone who watches these videos. Please feel free to subscribe, like the video, and comment what else you want to see on this channel. Look forward to more Marvel Rivals lore, just as I am looking forward to more Marvel Rivals content and story. And in the meantime, I will see you guys on the next video.